Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Samsara Sagare Magnam Dinamam Karunanide Karma Kraya Krihi Tangam Mam Uttara Bhavamava Srimad Bhagavata Gyoyam Prataksha Krishna Evahi Svikrito Si Mayanata Muktyartam Bhavasagare Manorate Madiyoyam Sapala Salvadatvaya Nilkne Naiva Kaltavyam Dasoham Tabake Shava Babe Babe Yatha Bhakti Padayostava Chayate Tata Kurushva Devesha Natastvam no Yatha Prabhu Nama Sankirtanam Yasha Salva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Tukashamanastam Namami Harim Param Jammadasha Yaton Bayat Idaratas Chalteshvabhya Svarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyantiya Suraya Tejobari Mridam Yathabinimayo Yatra Trisalgo Mursha Dhamna Svena Sada Mirasa Kuakam Satyam Param Dimahi Dharma Purojita Kaitabotra Paramo Nilma Saranam Satam Vedam Bhastavam Attara Bhastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Mullanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Pare Ishvaraha Satto Hrita Barutyatetra Kritivi Shushurshubhi Tarshana Nikama Kalpataro Kalitaram Palam Sukamukat Amrita Drabha Samhitam Pivada Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhubi Bhaka Sacinananda Rupaya Vishvot Pyatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Pinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numa Yam Prabharajantam Anupetam Apetagrityam Dupayano Birahakatar Ajuhava Putre Titam Mayataravu Binedustam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Munim Anatosmi Yasvanubhavam Akila Shrutisaramekam Adhyatmadipam Atitishatam Tamontam Samsarinam Karunaya Prana Guhyam Tam Vyasasunu Payami Gurum Muninam Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Kamaniya Kishora Mukta Multe Kalabenu Kvanita Driptananendoho Mamabachi Bijrimbittam Murare Madrimna Kanika Pik Apikapi Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Puristaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gaurabani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashacha Teshatarine Pande Nanda Brajastrinam Padanenum Abhishinasha Yasam Harigato Gitam Punato Punatrayam Sri Kopi Charana Ravinda Paramanave Namaha Pitambaram Karavirajta Chakra Shankam Komudaki Sarashijam Karuna Samudram Radha Sahayamiti Sundaram Mandahasam Patalayesha Manisham Hridi Bhavayami Komalam Kujayam Venum Shamaloyam Kumaraka Veda Vedya Param Brahma Bhasattam Prato Mama Bukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Krim Yakripa Tamam Bande Paramananda Madhavam Salvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Haribol. Thank you, Patanjali Muni Prabhu. Thank you very much. Welcoming all the wonderful devotees. Please accept our humble wishes, please. We're going to start with the Haisharani Didi, going to do the summary of the last class, please. Could you kindly unmute yourself, Mataji? Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol. I'd like to start to thank you, Sangeeta Mataji, for giving me this service opportunity. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, sorry. Did you say you would like to?
Thank you for giving me this service opportunity to do the summary.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah,
thank
if
you.
you like,
And
that's fine. But you have a 5 minutes, Mataji, so you have to make sure.
yes,
Yeah, please. Thank you. So we can just
Okay.
continue with Patanjali Muni Prabhu. Now
Yes, yes. I quickly seek the blessings from the Vaishnavas and ask for forgiveness if I may misinterpret any of this summary.
please, yeah.
Okay, so yes, thank you. Last week we're focusing on Srimad Bhagavatam 111 verse from the Canto 1, verse 1, chapter 1, linking it on to Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, chapter 23, is it? The Song of the Avanti Brahmana. And it was basically Satyam Param Dhimahi, which is the very last part of the actual verse. And we did this to get a deeper understanding of the final part of the verse. So some of the Sanskrit words we touched upon, one of them is called Hridaya Granthim, which is called many knots. And there are many knots within our heart. The Avanti Brahmana became free from many knots of material desires. As a result, he became completely peaceful. Muni in general is a state of mind, meaning that one who is content within the mind. When the mind is fully satisfied, then one has not much to say and remains silent. This is an example of an Avanti Brahmana who was Shanti, peaceful. There's also another meaning for Shanti, is being happy. Verse 6 gives a description of the Avanti Brahmana. In the country of the Avanti, there once lived a certain Brahmana who was an Asiddhi Dhyatama, very rich and gifted with all the opulences, and who was engaged in the occupation of commerce, but he was a miserly person, lusty, greedy, and very prone to anger. The same person turned peaceful. So how was this possible? If we turn to the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, there's a description about Arjuna and how his relationship with Krishna had changed from the master to the servant. Since at the beginning Arjuna was displaying his greatness by giving Sri Krishna orders, but all of this was set to change when Arjuna saw that the opponents within the Kurukshetra battle were hugely his close friends and relatives, such as grandfather Bhisma Dev and his Guru Dronacharya. Having seen that and knowing that he was expected to fight against them all, Arjuna started to lament, and his bow and Gandiva slipped from his hand. Arjuna sat down and did not want to fight in the battle. He did not want to fight with his close family and friends. These are the features of the normal human being when they break down. In the end, Arjuna realized that he was an illusion and regained his memory as well as Sitapraga, his firm intelligence. He was therefore ready to fight within the battlefield and thus thanked Krishna. Arjuna became the servant of Lord Krishna in the end by taking on whatever instruction Krishna gave him. This exchange of conversation between the Lord and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra only took 45 minutes. The Advanta Brahmana became peaceful, silent, and content, and this was only achieved by him by tolerating a lot of disturbances, such as somebody urinating on his head or spitting on him, taking his bead bag, his chanting beads, and beating him. These persons did these horrific acts so that they could get a reaction from the Brahmana by trying to get him to speak, but the Brahmana did not speak and was steady in his service by tolerating all the disturbances. The Avanti Brahmana used to beg for alms only to find that those sinful persons would snatch his prashadam as he was getting ready to eat on the bank of the Ganges. Even amongst poison, we should understand how to extract nectar from poison. Even from a dirty place, if we pick up gold and clean it nicely, then it will still hold its value, even though it may come from a dirty place. Even if your situation is not favorable, then through difficult circumstances, we have to extract the spiritual essence. Even if there's an enemy who has a good quality, then we should learn from them. Even from a young child, if they say something good and instructive, then we should learn from them. These are the teachings from the Vedic society. So in this way, whatever we do in order to achieve nectar, there is a process to it. That process is not sweet, and sometimes it requires a hard endeavor, and sometimes even a level of mental breakdown. It requires a certain level of humiliation and insult. Never mind those unpleasant experiences. Try turning it into positive ways so that it's the stepping stone towards your spiritual advancement, and not to let your struggle be your stumbling block. These are the teachings of the chapter of the 23 in Canto 11. This fundamentally what teaches from Srimad Bhagavatam 111, Satyam Param Dhimahi. You try to see the truth, Satyam, in it. Do you want me to continue or shall I stop now?
I think that's perfect. really, because
Okay.
if
Thank you
it's
very
long,
much.
if it's longer, then we have to take another class. Thank you
No,
so
no, no,
much.
that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
Hasham.
much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
enlightening
you.
for the
Very well. Thank
last
you.
class. Thank you. It was wonderful. It was a divine. We would love to hear you more, but then we will be run out of time again. Thank you. The next one is Chetna Shah. Could you please kindly unmute yourself and start the given story? Please, Haribo.
My humble obeisances. This is the story of Pralambasura. One day, while they were herding the cows, the most dangerous and deadly of all demons, Pralamba, came into Krishna's association. He noted that one particular cowherd boy who had come out with Krishna every day was kept at home by his mother to perform duties. Pralambasura disguised himself identically to that Kopa friend of Krishna. He pretended to do all the activities like herding the cows and singing and playing the flute and the buffalo horn. But Krishna knew within his heart that this was a demon that had come to kill him and Balaram. Krishna too pretended that he did not know, and he accepted him as a friend and embraced him. Krishna planned to play a game of hide and seek in order to kill Pralambasura. He called out to his friends that today we're going to play hide and seek with two different teams. The winner would be carried on the shoulder of the losers. Shri Krishna and Balaram were chosen as captains, so they played. One team would hide from the other, and if anyone from one team found one of the boys, then that boy had to carry the finder on the shoulders and arms. So they played, and Balaram's team was victorious. Pralambasura took side with Krishna, so he lost. Krishna had to carry Sri Dhamma on his shoulders, and Pralambasura chose to carry Balaramji on his shoulders. Pralambasura put Balaramji on his shoulder under the Prandiva tree because he lost the game, and then he started running, and he ran and he ran. Balaramji was thinking, where is my friend taking me? He's already crossed the border of where we're supposed to go. It is so far. Balaramji became very heavy, like Mount Sambhu, and Pralambasura was becoming strange. He assumed his original gigantic form. His hair was like flames, his eyes like coals, and he had large, sharp teeth. He had a long red beard, and he looked like a massive cloud. His ornaments were like lightning, and Balaram on his shoulders was like a full moon. Balaram thought, how is it that my friend has changed so much? Balaram got angry. He wanted to play with his friends. They were in the middle of a game, and this demon was taking him away. It was intolerable, and he became furious. You are separating me from the playful games of the gopis. In one punch from Balaram with his fist on Pralambasura's head, and this demon's head was split open. He fell to the ground dead. All of the gopas were so happy, they embraced Balaram as if he had come back from death itself. The demigods benedicted Balaram by showering him with flowers. Pralambasura represents a very dangerous demon that resides within the heart and the inclination to enjoy the opposite sex and the inclination to enjoy profit and adoration and distinction, both gross and subtle. In this world, people think that the goal of life, this is the goal of life. Most songs, television, movies, books, magazines, and products that one can buy are centered on this enjoyment. Pralambasura is a powerful force, very difficult to overcome. It appears like our friend, like he did appear as Krishna's dear, intimate, lifelong friend. So similarly, these desires appear, the desire for profit, adoration, and distinction, and the desire for other types of physical activity. They promise us happiness, but they cheat us. They kill the inclination for Krishna consciousness in our heart So we must be very careful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chetna. It's beautiful. Really nicely done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so shall we just start with Patanjali Muni Prabhu? It's the class now, and I would say everyone, just to pay wishes on behalf of everyone to you. Patanjali Muni Prabhu, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, and Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
thank you for summary and also story of demon. It's quite impressive, and also we learned a lot that the demon Pralambasura is representing actually not only he was a demon in the Vrindavan Lila, and also he was signifying the demon within our own heart, that signifying the tendency to enjoy material world in this life. So here there is a message that okay. So whatever we see, whatever we hear, it has to be applicable to our day-to-day life, and also it has to be applicable to advance in our spiritual progress. So yesterday, no, last week we had a relevant question that could you give us some practical, some guidance or practical suggestion that how we put what we have learned through the Bhagavatam into practice. So I have a meditate on that. So I explained a quite short period of time, but this is a very important question, so that I'd like to touch upon that first, and then we'll move on. So now let me give you a question that what's the difference between low self-esteem and true humility? Sometimes we see some people that they have certain lag in their character, but looks quite humble. So, you know, very meek and humble. And also, Prabhu, we ask something, Prabhu, so who am I, so I can't do this one, or who am I to speak like this? So there is a fine line between being humble, or this person need to be a bit helped, is being in a mood of low self-esteem. So how do we differentiate that? Sometimes we see through our friends, sometimes we see through even our own family members. So I'd like you to think about just for a moment that what's the difference between having a low self-esteem or being truly humble? So now I'd like to invite
Okay, sorry everyone, please. Anybody who would like to answer it, just unmute yourself and I'll let you speak one by one. So don't just...
Maybe three people maybe can speak.
Yeah, please, thank you. So, okay, Pranav, you go ahead. Yeah.
All right. The main difference is real humility and, well, false humility, which comes from most of nature, usually from Tamaguna. For example, oh, I'm so lonely, I cannot do anything. Oh. And, you know, go to bar, drink their sorrows. That's false humility in the mode of, let's say, ignorance. True humility is understanding our real position, tiny, insignificant servants of God. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a very pinpoint, well spoken answer. And any other would you like to add anything?
Is there anyone would like to just say, yeah, there is the Bhavini Mataji would like to say something. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, well.
So we're discussing what is the difference between humility and low self-esteem. And it could be that someone with low self-esteem does not have the confidence, so puts themselves down, and it comes across as humility, but it's not, it's just lack of confidence.
Yes, a lack of confidence. So the key thing you can tell is that those who have low self-esteem, actually lack of confidence. But those who are truly humble, they trying to take a humble position, and yet deep down they have a certain confidence in Krishna teaching or Guru's instruction or within themselves. That's a very good point, Mataji. And then one more, anyone else?
Anybody would like to answer? Please unmute yourself or raise your hand, please. Thank you. No one but Patanjali Muni Prabhuji. Oh,
Hare
yeah,
Krishna.
there's Rupa. Yeah.
Okay, Rupa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I think those who have low self-esteem, they will not be very happy with themselves. So they are lacking. They know. So they are not confident, as Bhavini Mataji said. So they are not happy with themselves. But those who are humble, they are knowledgeable and they are happy within themselves. And then they are humble to everybody. Maybe that's one.
That's also a very good answer. And those who have low self-esteem, they are not content, they are not happy with themselves. But those who are humble, because they are content, they are happy with themselves, then they ready to be respectful to anybody they come across, and also they are ready to take a humble position. That's also a very good point.
There's another one, Prabhuji. Venu Madhuri Mataji.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the last.
Yeah.
Last one, please.
See,
Yeah.
yeah. The humility is a natural characteristics, basically. Yeah, to be somebody humble is somebody artificiality in there. It's something natural by nature. It's a sublime quality in a devotee or any person. It's natural something. Whereas having low self-esteem is basically something artificial. It is not the person who wanted. It is some out of some force there, or some sort of artificial arrangement. He's pretending to be having low self-esteem, maybe out of not having confidence or enough courage to say something, or just to pretend, yeah, I'm having low esteem there. So it is a natural position, whereas humility is a natural quality. It's a natural transcendental quality. So
Yes.
that's the difference.
I think
Thank you.
simply low self-esteem means the person is not is feeling less about themselves, not able to pursue anything, and they give up. But with humility, they're actually pursuing life no matter what anybody else think. They just go for the positive and the good things, which is seeing us through to closer to God. And so they'll serve, do any kind of menial task, like our other Prabhu that comes regularly. What's his name? He cleans the toilet, and he doesn't even care what anybody think about him. So that's humility. And
That's a wonderful answer, Mataji. Thank you. In one sense, you concluded this discussion that low self-esteem means that someone thinks himself less. But true humility is that someone thinks less about himself. So I don't know whether this makes sense to you or not. So let me reiterate one more time. Sometimes we always think involved around ourselves, so that, oh, I can't do this, oh, I don't have the ability, oh, I don't have this one. So always, if somehow we be compared with others, sometimes we think ourselves will be less than others. So this is a low self-esteem. And then true humility is that it doesn't bother, as Mataji says just now, that whatever I lack, and yet certain confidence within us, or certain satisfaction within us, then we are ready to accept the situation, and also we are ready to move on. Why? Because we think less about ourselves. Myself, how am I, is not really the actual matter. What we are going to do about it, that is a matter. So in this way, you all gave a wonderful answer. So in order to sum up this discussion, the reason why I'm bringing it up is that this has related to this Avanti Brahmana, this bhikshu, that he got so much of offense, but whatever offense he experienced, that didn't let him down. That didn't lead to his low self-esteem. And yet, he deepening his relationship with Krishna, and also it woken up his spiritual identity. So Gita described this very, very descriptive way. So in the Gita, you all have Gita, so let us read it together. If you open up chapter 1.
1 second, yeah, this is sharing as well.
Yeah, chapter 1, text 30. Okay, I'll read it first in the meantime while you're preparing. Nacha shangnomi avastatum brahmativa chame manaha nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. So it
Sorry,
says,
which was, Prabhuji? Which was?
chapter 1, text 30.
13, yeah.
30, 30.
Okay.
Verse 30.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am unable to stand here any longer. Is that
Okay.
one?
Yeah,
No,
please.
just give me 1 second, Mataji. We're going to go through the people who are going to read their names. So
Okay, I thought they were doing the Srimad Bhagavatam. No problem.
No, everybody's doing all the reading on the things.
That's fine. That's
Thank
fine.
you. Okay, so Mataji, Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi, please. Hare Krishna, Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please can you read this translation?
Translation?
Yes,
Please.
translation. Yeah.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I foresee only evil. Oh, killer of the esteem.
Thank you, Raibo.
So here Arjuna saying that I see only cause of misfortune. So whatever opportunity he is facing, he has a negative mentality. So this is signifying that low self-esteem. Arjuna is teaching us, if you have a low self-esteem, you will go through this kind of feeling. And also mind won't be settled. If you are humble, your mind can be very steady. But here it says, my mind is willing. And also you won't be settled in any place. So here it says, unable to stand here, which means he's not settled. And also forgetting myself. So he forgetting his prime duty or his dharma, like that. And then next verse. Nacha shaknomi anupashyami hatpa svajanam ahave nakangshe vijayam Krishna cha rajam sukani cha. So next verse, please.
Yes, please can you tell me? Haribo, Kelly Mataji.
Yeah, I am now unable to stand here any longer. Oh, is the same one?
Yeah.
Next one, next verse.
Yeah, that's the one. I did 31, right? Yeah. 31.
Sorry?
Yeah, this is the one. I do not.
Oh, I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Haribo.
So here Arjuna saying that he doesn't desire victory, he doesn't desire kingdom, he doesn't desire any happiness. So his thinking become very much negative. So in this way, those who have low self-esteem, whatever you ask, they'll say no. Oh, I can't do it. So this is a sign of great low self-esteem. So conclusion is low self-esteem lead to paralysis, but true humility lead to readiness for anything, readiness for challenge, readiness for taking the opportunity, readiness for lifting their situation. So Bhagavad Gita describes very well about true humility. So let us look at, we read last week also, but we read one more time. Arjuna Vacha. This conclusion, 18th chapter, text 33. It says, Arjuna Uvacha, Nashto moha smriti lapta tava prasadan mayachuta sitosmi kata sandeha karishe bachanam tava. So could you read the translation? 1873. Not 33, 1873.
Okay, just 1 second, Prabhuji, sorry. Again.
Chapter is fine, but
73.
73. Yes,
Yeah.
that one. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Julie Mataji, could you please kindly unmute yourself? Julie Mataji. Hare Krishna, Julie Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please could you read the translation, please?
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am now firm and free from doubt, and I'm prepared to act according to your instructions."
Very good. Thank you.
Can you see this Arjuna's readiness? In the beginning, we read text 30, chapter 1. He said, I'm forgetting myself, Arjuna said. But now, after listening Krishna's instruction, he is saying that my illusion is gone, nashta moha, smriti lapta. Now I know who I am, now I know what to do. And the result of knowing who we are, we take a humble position that karishe tabanam bachanam taba. I'm ready to do not what I want, I'm ready to do what you want. This is true humility. That always we mold our daily routine, schedule according to our wish and desire. But if you mold your life by higher cause, then this is true humility. That's why Prabhupada said one time, one of the disciples asked, Prabhupada, what is really humility? I don't get it. And Prabhupada said a very deep voice, humility means being bold for Krishna. So in this way, he gave answer. So now you understand why Prabhupada said, humility means not just the meek and then docile, etc., etc. This is our perception. This is very soft spoken, or being yes man, or yes woman. No, it's nothing like that. Humility means that you're ready to take up task, ready to take up mission, and then you ready to perform the Guru's mission. So this is a true humility. So this is how Bhagavatam offers the different perception. That Satyam Param Dhimai, what is Satyam? What is the truth? That we have to understand. So Gita starts with blind man's statement. Dhritarashtra Uvacha, and then Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yusabaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kim Akuru Bhatta Sanjaya. So this blind man, what is he interested in? Kim Akuru Bhatta Sanjaya, what they are doing. They are interested in what? But the Krishna conscious people, spiritual people, they are interested in not what, it's all about how. So we discussed last week and the week before that it's not important what kind of a house you have. It's important how you live at the house. It's not important that what you do. You can be doctor, lawyer, or merchant, or even taxi driver. It's important how you do that job, how much you dedicate your service, your job, truly service of others. Krishna is not interested in what kind of car you have, what model you have. No. With that car, how did you use it? How many devotees did you give your lift? Or how often you went to the temple? with that car, how you use that car, how is important. What kind of make or how much money you spend on that car, that's not Krishna's interest. So in this way, why Bhagavatam start with Satam Param Dhimahi is that Maya always convince you that what you see is real. But Krishna's interest is that what you are seeing is not really real. True reality is hiding behind that what you see. True reality is hiding behind your emotion. Emotion goes up and down, yes? But this emotion which goes up and down, this is not truth. But truth is behind that emotion, something that makes you the feeling goes up and down, there is a truth. So try to focus on that truth. That is Satyam Param Dhimai. So Bhikshu Gita is showing us that truth, that what is behind all these offenses, different insult, what is this all behind? What can I learn from this? So this is the key message. So now we come back, let's come back, the beginning of why, this is Krishna saying to Uddhava, why Krishna brought this subject of Bhikshu Gita. So in order to understand the deeper, let us go back to the right beginning. So it starts with actually 22nd chapter. 22nd chapter, 11th canto, text 54 and 55. So it said here, Yatambasa prachalata tarabopi challa iva chakshusha brahmaya manena drishate brahmativa bhuhu yatha manoratha dhiyo vishaya bhavo mrisha swapna dhritascha dasarha tatha samsara atmanaha. So could you read this translation?
Judy Mataji, please.
Which number, sorry?
It's 54, 55.
Okay, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Right.
The soul's material life, his experience of sense gratification, is actually false. O descendant of, sorry, I gotta move this, of Dasarha.
Descendant, yeah.
O descendant of Dasarha.
That's right.
Yeah, is that right?
That's right.
Just
Yeah.
like trees' appearance of quivering when the trees are reflected in agitated water, or like the earth's appearance of spinning due to one spinning his eyes around, or like the world of a fantasy or dream. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
So try to remember when you are young, when you are a very young child, we all play a game. We put hands out wide and then we spinning around. Then 3 or 4 times, then the whole world goes around. So in this way, Krishna says to Uddhava, what you experience exactly like that. World is steady because your body is going around, and that's why the whole things will go around. So trying to perceive something beyond that what you see. And then next verse, let's continue next verse. Can you read any translation?
Sorry, 1 second, Prabhuji, sorry, I thought it's the chapter.
I'll read it while you're looking for. Next verse is 56. Altehi avidyamanhepi samsritir na nivaltate diyato vishayan asha svapne nartagamo yata. So 56.
Visalini, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, does not go away, just as the unpleasant experiences of a dream do not.
So Krishna is saying that our experience is like experience of dream. But through that dream, you're trying to see the fact, the satyam, the truth. And then further, Krishna make a conclusion here. Tasmat uttava ma bhungsva vishayan asat indriyai atma graha ghana nilbhatam pasya vaikalpikam brahmam. So translation, please.
Yes,
Therefore,
yeah.
therefore, O Uddhav, do not try to enjoy sense gratification with the material senses. See how illusion based on material dualities prevents one from realizing the self.
And then now Krishna gives a practical instruction how to not to focus on sense enjoyment and how to realizing our true self. Krishna gives a practical instruction. So next translation, please.
Navneet Prabhu.
Even though neglected, insulted, ridiculed, and envied by bad men, or even though repeatedly agitated by being beaten, tied up or deprived of one's occupation, spat upon or polluted with urine by ignorant people, one who desires the highest goal in life should, in spite of all these difficulties, use his intelligence to keep himself safe on the spiritual platform.
So Krishna says, whatever happened in your life, don't let go of your highest goal in your life. So you can't stop things happen to you, but you can control your mind in such a way that you focus on your own goal in your life. So now, next translation, please.
Yes, Navneet Prabhu. Navneet Prabhu, can you read, please?
Sri Uddhav said, O best of all speakers, please explain to me how I may properly understand this.
So Uddhav saying, representing us. So how can it possible? And someone insulted me, I can't sleep whole night. So how can I focus on my goal? So, and then Uddhava giving another question. Next.
Yeah, Meena Kavya, please. Haribol.
Yeah. Can you scroll up, please, Sangeeta? Thank you. O soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality in material life is very strong, and therefore it's very difficult even for learned men to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people. Only you devotees who are fixed in your loving service and who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet are able to tolerate such offenses. Thank you.
So Uddhava was saying that I can tolerate anything, but when I has to face the insult, it's very difficult to tolerate. And someone ridicule me is very, very difficult to tolerate. So even for learned men to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people, this is even learned men is difficult. How can I tolerate this one? Krishna, you instructed me. This is how Krishna introduced Bhikshu Gita, story of Avanti Brahmana. So this afternoon, I happened to talk to one of devotee in Korea. So he's trying to follow, he's trying to be devotee. And then he's trying to stop eating meat. And then he's trying to stop drinking. But he said to me, it's very, very difficult. But somehow I can stop eating meat, that's okay. And also I can stop eating, drinking alcohol also, that's okay. But the most difficult I have is that being ridiculed by my own friends, my own family. So they're not helping, but they're making joke about him. Here spiritual sadhu comes. How is yours now? The life is going on. So without drinking is okay? Are you okay? So in this way, within the family, when there's sometimes a family gathering, when they have what you call, eating together. So of course they are full of meat, etc., etc. And then they're joking. Oh, I'm sorry. So we have all this. You can't eat. So what are you gonna eat? And then they point the fingers outside the tree. Maybe you can just jump onto the tree and eat some leaves over there. In this way, constantly ridiculing him. So he asked me, Prabhuji, how can I tolerate this insult? So I gave example of this Bhikshu Gita, but it didn't work. So he contacted me again. Prabhuji, you told him about this Bhikshu Gita story, but for me it doesn't work. So then I had to give you, then I'll give you some practical example. So I'll give you my own story. So a few years ago, our family went to Korea. We stayed for a year, and then we did some preaching activity and came back. So unfortunately, my son, when he came back, it was year 5. So whole year 4, he didn't study anything in Korea. He had a good holiday, 1 year holiday. And when he came back, so of course, the other subject he could catch up, but the math, he couldn't catch up. So each time math test, he was bottom of the class. But somehow we tried to encourage him, it's okay, because we had a break so that, you can catch up at some time. So we encourage him. So through our encouragement, so he started to pick things up. And then one day he had a class, math test, and then he was second highest score in the classroom. And then he came, I went to pick him up, and then what was the test? I heard that you're going to have a test today. How was it today test? His face was a very, very upset face. And then what happened? I said, I got second highest, but I'm very upset. And then I thought, why? I thought you're going to be very happy that you got such a good result. And then how come it made you so upset? And then he said that all my friends, they teasing me, they ridiculing me, they insulting me that I cheated it. They called me out loudly, he's a cheater. So I worked hard to get the score back, and finally I got the result of what I wanted, even more than what I wanted. I didn't expect that I'm going to have that high score. Even I myself was surprised. But all my friends, rather than being happy about me, they ridiculed me. And then he was so upset, he's almost in tears. Then I asked him, are you upset? Yes, I'm upset. So why do you upset? He said, because my friends, none of them happy about me. All of them telling me that I'm the cheater. Oh, so you are not upset, not because of your score, you are upset because of your friends called you that you are cheater. So then I ask again, why do you think your friend called you as a cheater? They never called you before like that. So I told you already, because I got such a good result, high marks. That's why they called me as a cheater. So then they never expected you to have such a high marks. So that's why they called you cheater, which means you exceeded their expectation. Is it true? Yes. So then they are not wrong either. They didn't see you work hard. They didn't see that part. They saw only your result. So for them to work out how you got that good mark is that only thinking they can have, only reason they can have is that you cheated because you far exceeded their expectation. So that's their way of interpretation of your good mark. So do you think they are wrong? And then my son was thinking, oh, then I did such a good result, good mark. I have such a good mark so that they can't believe my ability. And then his face a bit changed. And then he said to me that, oh, Daddy, I realized something. There is something good in bad thing. So I thought it's something bad that they called me and they ridiculed me, because actually I did good, they are ridiculing me. Because I would stay still, I had a result of bottom of the class, then they wouldn't ridicule me because I did such a good result. I had such a good result. That's why they called me. This is a sign of my good achievement. So then his face has changed. And then I told my son, good. So you learn life lesson. So my son, please remember, there is always good thing in something bad situation. So rather than thinking about bad situation, you always try to focus on good thing. And so if there is no good thing, you yourself are trying to find out good thing in bad thing. And then I asked, so because now you got ridiculed, so next result, so you just want to mess up, or next result also you want to do your best. What do you want to do? And then my son said positively, yes, still, even if they ridicule me, I'll try my best. Next test also I want to get a good score. So here, when we look at the situation, apparently it looks like those who ridiculed another son is not maybe good, but at the same time, according to their psychology, there is a natural response for them. So here, what changed is that my son's emotion, he was upset, and then now later on he was happy. But being upset, being happy is both is called Maya. That emotional fluctuation, emotional response, this is called Maya. It's non-permanent. But the score he achieved, this is called Satyam. The response to the score can be varied, but score itself will never change. Even 10 years later, even hundreds of years later, on that day, the math test score will not change. So something doesn't change is called Satyam. Something constantly changing is called Mithya or Maya. So now, look at ourselves. Our thinking is that this outside material world is eternal. We are temporarily here. So even if king dies, kingdom continues. So our kingdom is permanent. King is temporary. The same way we ourselves also, we are here short while, temporarily we are here, and then soon we'll leave this world. But world will continue. This is Maya. Bhagavata saying that, no, what you see, what it looks like eternal, actually that is temporary. What you see, countries, trees, building, all you see, even if you die, they will stay, they go a long time, but no, that is temporary. But what is eternal? It's you. Your temporary garment, this clothing of Indian, this clothing of the American, this clothing of British, this is temporary clothing. But you, yourself, your true self, Atma, is eternal. It's entirely different perspective. So let us look at Bhagavata. Krishna confirms. This is the first thing Krishna says to Arjuna, that in order to sweep his, in order to change his mentality, he says,
which one? Bhagavad Gita, is this Prabhuji?
Chapter 2, text 12, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
Yeah, I got it.
Text 11 and text 12. Let's read text 12 first. Natveham chatunasham natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha salve bhayam ataparam. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody read translation?
Yes, Meena Kavya, please.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Arjuna is worried that all these people will disappear. But Krishna says, no, no, no. That's not the truth. Truth is something that never changes. So in this way, that in our day-to-day life, normally we don't focus on satyam. Human beings are emotional animals. So we are always governed by these different emotions. But Krishna is saying that rather than focusing on that emotion, of course, emotion is important. So bhakti means emotion. You should have a proper loving mood for service. But at the same time, in day-to-day life, when something is happen, then you try to see why did it happen. Then rather than react, you trying to act according to your dharma, according to your position, according to your duty. But we normally is to, rather than act, we normally react for our nature. But now that's why we are here for, that's why we are here, ready to learn from Krishna's instruction. So that we trying to, rather than react, we trying to act, so that in our devotional life, many things, many challenges will be there. But let that challenge come. Don't try to avoid the challenge. We have to face challenge, and then through the challenge, we try to learn something. So then, moment of our life, it becomes very exciting. So there is a saying that rather than waiting storm to pass, you must learn how to sing and dance in that storm. Don't wait to storm pass. Don't wait this corona pass. Trying to get best out of this corona. So after this class, I'll share one video with you through the WhatsApp. So this year, one of our kitchen staff sent me the birthday present. So in our culture, we don't normally celebrate birthday. So when the birthday comes, we offer respect to the ancestor. So this is our system. So, but somehow this staff remembered my birthday, and then he sent one clip. You know what clip was? Their family playing the ukulele, the musical instruments, 3 of them together. And then he said that this year, due to lockdown, I had so much time, so we learned Korean tune, Ma Mantra. So he,
wow.
he heard some Korean tune.
When was your birthday, Prabhuji? Sorry, just your appearance day. Which was your appearance day? Sorry.
I don't know. It's past, long ago.
Okay.
And, yeah.
But just please let us know what date was it?
No need.
It was recent, a couple months back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He didn't want to celebrate.
Yeah.
Very
so,
humble.
Okay. So that he said that throughout his devotional life, this year he has best time, so that he had plenty of time to reflect, because in general, kitchen service is a bit quite demanding. It's very, has to be passionate, because we are dealing with the fire all the time. So without fire, kitchen doesn't function. So this fire comes out of nature sometimes. Sometimes it causes conflict, friction, etc., etc. So many lila going on in the kitchen. Personality clash, character clash, or whatever. But here, this year, he had some break from that. And then he spent a lot of time with the family. And then there's such a good time, so that in this way, he truly appreciate that the break of this corona. So now, of course, someone may have a different opinion on that. But my main point is that not about corona. Any situation you are in, which is upsetting externally, which is challenging, which cause some kind of difficulties in your life, you sit down, you meditate, and then you're trying to see what's good about it. What can I learn from it? So now we're coming back to 11 canto.
Yeah.
There is the one verse, 5th chapter, 11 canto, 5th chapter, first, volume 1,
1 second. What
36. 11.5.36.
11.5.36. Yeah, 1 second. 5.36.
11.5.36.
Yeah, it's there.
So here, Kalim Savajayanti Arya Guna Gya Sara Bhaginaha Yatra Sankirtane Naiva Salva Svarto Pilapyate. So, any
Yeah, there is a Varsha Mataji. Are you online, Varsha Mataji? Hi, Krishna Varsha Mataji. Okay. So in that case, please, Sipara Mataji, can you unmute yourself, Sipara Mataji? And
Yeah,
read
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
26. Yeah.
Those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened persons worship Kali Yuga because in this fallen age, all perfection of life can easily be achieved by the performance of Sankirtana. Hare Krishna.
So, Kali Yuga means age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So we say, what can we do, Prabhu? It's Kali Yuga. So we hear all the time, Kali Yuga. So anything goes wrong, we blame Kali Yuga. But those who are truly learned the person, they make best use of this Kali Yuga. As you may heard many times, many devatas, they are queuing up to take a birth in this Kali Yuga. Why? Because here, the perfection of life can be easily attained by Sankirtana Yagya. So, for example, for us, Prabhupada gave us opportunity for Pancha Mahayagya by just attending this Sangha. So Pancha Mahayagya, so number 1, Deva Yagya. So by reading this book, we worshiping Krishna. And then Pitri Yagya. So by reading this book, we do our duty for our ancestor. And then Rishi Yagya. By reading this Bhagavatam, we show all our respect to result of the personality which appears in Bhagavatam. And then Manisha Yagya or Nri Yagya or Atiti Yagya. So we give our service to the other people by preparing summary, by preparing demon story. Sometimes you get involved with this reading. This is Manusha Yagya. So you are offering service to this Sangha members. And so finally, Bhuta Yagya. For you, by touching this book, those who are sacrificed, so many trees are sacrificed to make this book. So by your attending this Sangha, by your reading this Sangha, all trees get benefit. Prabhupada one time said that if you do Sankirtan, if you use car to move from one place to another place, that car, those who made the car, those who shipped that car, those who got involved in any activity with that car, also they get benefit of this Sankirtan. So in this way, you just by joining this group, our discussion, actually your duty 5 Mahayagya is already done. Plus here with something higher, Sankirtan Yagya. So this is the value, essential value of Kali Yuga. Look at their perception. For us, Kali Yuga is object of blame. But for them, Kali Yuga is almost object of worship. So in this way, this is the view of Satyam Param Dhimai. Now, introduction is finished. Now we move on to Bhikshu Gita. This Bhikshu Gita is around 18 verses. So this Bhikshu Gita contains entire essence of Upanishad. It's gem of all the Shastra. Why? Krishna give instruction to Uddhava by quoting Vikshugita. Do you remember when Krishna says something? Normally Krishna said, I'm saying this. No, so I heard this. Olden days, someone said this one. Always he quoting someone. Although he's supreme authority, and yet he's quoting. This is another quality of Krishna. So Krishna, rather than saying directly to Uddhava, in order to develop, in order to overcome the feeling of insult, he gives this instruction. He gives this story in the form of Vikshugita. So now let's move on to chapter 23.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 23 and 42, right? Yeah.
So today,
42,
so
right?
we'll do 42. So this one is very, very, because essence means very, very dense. So we need to process of diluting it. So this one, rather than going through 1 to 10, we go one by one, so that we trying to digest. Yes.
Sure.
Divija uvacha Nayam janome sukaduka hetu nadevatma kriya karma kala manaparam karanam amananti samsara chakram parivartayetat. Okay.
Okay, Sivara Mataji, please read 42, please. Sivara Mataji, 42 verse. Okay, okay. Uma, can you unmute yourself, Uma, please?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, could you please read the translation 42, please?
The Brahmana said, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress, neither of the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work or time. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. Hare Krishna.
Please stay online for the second one. Thank you.
Okay, here, samsara chakram parivartayeta. So we parivarta, going round of samsara chakra. So why we are going round samsara chakra? Due to mana param karanam, due to cause of our own mind. Here, mind means is a perception. So sometimes mind interpret as our body, sometimes mind interpret as our own emotion, sometimes mind interpret as our own feeling. So there are many types of connotation is there. But here, mind is all about the perception. Yes, so focus on that. So due to what kind of perception we have, that perception leading us to our next life. Also due to that perception, sometimes we completely come out of this chakra, which you call it liberation. But somehow we are here in this chakra, then now we have to focus on what is this manaha? What is this perception? So that we can get out of all this circle. So while within our circle, we get influence of janaha, other people. There is no doubt. While within this chakra, we feel we got influenced by devatas. There's no doubt. And then our body also, what kind of body we have. And also due to our karma, we are influenced by that. And also kala, time. Yes, we are in Kali Yuga. If we were in Satya Yuga, maybe we think differently. We will behave differently also. And also all different causes affecting us to remain in this samsara chakra. But Divija, the Avanti Brahmana, this bhikshu saying that actually I'm realizing that none of this is a cause of my happiness and distress, cause of my samsara chakra. What is the true cause? Is our mind, is our perception. I'll give you one example. So while being in UK, I went to Korea twice for the purpose of preaching. So first journey was the year 2005. And then, because I gave notice that I'm going to leave service, so that some people got to know, and then they, in one sense, gave a farewell to me. So one particular lady came to me that, I heard that you're going to Korea to preach. I said, yes, Mataji. So if you need Lakshmi somehow or other, you always come and see me, so that I'll try to help you. So I was very grateful, so that I had in mind, and then just before, 1 week before I left, so I went to that lady, so that actually, Mataji, I translated Bhagavad Gita in Korean language. So if you help, then as soon as I go to Korea, so I'll print in the Korean language. This will be very helpful. And then, so I remember that you said that you can help a little bit. Okay, I'll pay you. So here is Lakshmi. She gave me 20 pounds. So I was a bit surprised, so that maybe I expected a bit more. So that I said, thank you, Mataji, for your help. And then I came back, and then, of course, I shared all these things to my wife. And then she said that maybe it wasn't enough for your expectation, but maybe Krishna has some other plan. So in this way, we left it there. And then we went to Korea, and then we tried to set up so many things, so that we all forgot about printing the Bhagavad Gita, because even establishing Korea Ashram itself, it wasn't easy, so that there is no room for thinking about the books. A few months later, one of somehow the devotee said that, Prabhuji, you're trying to preach here, so we need a basic tool. Basic thing is the books, so we need to have books. Why don't you translate Bhagavad Gita into Korean? So I said to him, it's done already, so but actually we don't have enough fund to printing it. And I said, and then the devotee said, oh really? So how much does it cost? So I don't know actually. And Prabhuji, why don't you find out, and then let's discuss further. So that we went to the different printing company, and then at that time we tried to ask BBT, but there was some reason that they couldn't sponsor. So finally we came back, and then it was costing around 5,000 pounds to print the 700 copy. So, and then I told this devotee, and this devotee is not wealthy devotee at all. He's from Bangladesh, and he came for menial work in Korea. And although, and then his status was overstayed, so he was illegally staying in Korea. But he was every Sunday coming to the temple. He do seva, and such a nice devotee. So I said to him that yes, it cost around 5,000 pounds. Really? Okay, that's no problem. And then he contacted every single friend he knows. And then he asked his friend of his friend, he asked his friend to contact his friend, their friend. So suddenly, within a few weeks time, all the Lakshmi got gathered so that we made a contract. So we printed, just in 1 month's time, the 700 copy was printed.
Wow.
And then we realized that, I was discussing with my wife, yes, Krishna's mercy is so great in such a way that he wants to distribute this mercy every single individual. Some people gave 10 pounds, some people gave 5 pounds, even some people gave 100 pounds. So in this way, very small little amount actually quickly came to 5,000 pounds. And then we were surprised, and they were also surprised how people were very responsive and contribute to the cause, because it was never happened before. And they were also excited, and they got more excited than me. And then something interesting happened. So now books are ready. So I think we need to opening ceremony, book opening ceremony. So we look at the calendar. At that time it was November. So November, so we are in November, so that maybe first week of December, Sunday, let's do that. And then we discussed with all those people who contribute and then those who are organizing program. So that, yes, that was 5th of the first Sunday of that month was December, 5th of December. So we are Saturday. And then you know what was surprising? When we decide the first Sunday of the December, we didn't see the calendar. We just say Sunday. And then we leave the calendar. It was a Gita Jayanti Day.
Rivo, wow.
And we are so surprised that Krishna worked in such a way that is miraculously. So Gita Jayanti Day, so we are celebrating Gita opening ceremony. So everybody was surprised. And then on that day, because I was so busy, so that because we invited many friends and also invited many Korean yoga group teachers, and then all the Korean yoga society, they came. So there are many things to prepare. So on that morning, so my wife ironed the dhoti and kurta nicely. So from there to the place where you doing opening ceremony by car, it takes around 2.5 hours. So on the way journey, I forgot my dhoti and kurta left in the house.
Oh dear.
Normal clothes, you're on the way journey. So I realized, I didn't bring the clothes.
Yeah.
You know what happened in that car? The person who suggested that, Prabhuji, don't worry, we'll sort it out. That person, he had a brand new set of the dhoti and kurta, very shiny one. He never wore before. I said, Prabhuji, here, already ready for you. And he gave his brand new dhoti and kurta, and a really shiny one. I never wore this type of cloth before. Truly presentable. So that normally my kurta is a bit whitish, it's not really presentable. But somehow on that day, I wore such a shiny outfit, first time in my life. So in this way, Krishna had anything planned in such a way you never expected.
Absolutely, very merciful. Definitely.
Yeah, so this is how our spiritual life works. So again, when I read this verse, that I really wanted to share this story, in that ultimately something doesn't go as you expected, then if you sit down quietly, then maybe you may not realize then and there, but later on, if you continuously work on your own goal in a good way, then Krishna will reveal why arranged in that way much later. Sometimes it comes very straight after, but sometimes it comes much a bit later. So in this way, everything happens in our life, there is a reason behind it. But most of us, we don't know the reason. So for example, somebody is horrible to us. Our immediate response is that, that person is horrible to me. One thing we don't realize that what kind of karma I performed in my previous life. What I caused him to be horrible to me. We don't see ourselves. Our immediate response is that person who is horrible to me. This is our general response. But Bhagavatam teaches that nimittani pashyami viparitani keshava. There is always nimittani, there is a cause behind it. So this cause may not reveal to you directly or immediately, but if you act in a way that how you're supposed to act, then eventually that nimitta, the cause, will be revealed to you. So in this way, always, uttaret atmanam natmana avashadaya. Always raise yourself by your own mind. Raise yourself by yourself. And then, natma avasadaya. Never let yourself down under any circumstances. Why? Ultimately, atmaiva ripul atma. If you let yourself down, then your own mind becomes your biggest enemy. And also, atmaeva hya bandul atmana. If you raise yourself, then the same mind becomes your best friend. People can take things away from you, your family. Eventually, by the time maybe you lose your partner, in due course of time, children will leave. Time can take away everything. But one thing time cannot take away is that your own mind. Wherever you go, you take your mind with you. Even next life, your subtle body travels with you until you completely drop off, until you go to spiritual world. Your subtle body, what is subtle body? Mind, ego, your intelligence. This travels with you. So in this way, better to learn how to deal with this our mind, how to deal with perception here and now. Then this place itself turning into Vrindavan. Soon there is a course that Bhaktivinoda Mena, you can do parikram through the online, so they'll take you different places. It is true, Vrindavan is in India, and it is true where Krishna performed Leela, very much true. But through that watching or joining the parikrama, someone may develop desire, oh, next time when I go to India, I want to go to that place, I want to go to parikrama, etc., etc. But true essence of Bhagavatam is that when you see Vrindavan through the WhatsApp, then that Vrindavan can happen to within our own village also. Don't think Vrindavan can be only in India particular place. Don't think Vrindavan Lila, Demon Lila, etc., etc., etc. can happen only in India. Or it happened a long time ago. No. Whatever we experience, whatever we do, this is continuous. This is continuous. So the demon, Krishna dealt with it. But the same demon may be here, right here and now within our heart. Every day we are living with the same demon. Material hankering, we are living with it. But how Krishna deal with it, we learn from it, and then we try to deal with it right and now. When we try to deal with it right here and now, that moment actually we are entering into Krishna Lila. This life all of a sudden turning into Krishna's Lila. Krishna is not far away. So now let me share my screen. So Sangeeta, can I?
Okay. I mean, we are already 5 to 7 up.
Oh, sorry.
So if we, unless
let's close here. Then I will the screen, the slide which I wanted to show you. Even if you have not started yet, even.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So let's next week we start with the slide, and then we move on. So next week.
We also do, Prabhuji, this chapter, this 11 as well, right? The 23.
Yeah, 23. So next week we'll do chapter 43, text 43, and then we'll continue. So this one is, there is a lot message to it. So it'll be a bit slow, but be patient. And once we understand this one, and then if we start the Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, then you will relish.
Perfect. That's fine. Yes? That's wonderful. Okay. It's amazing.
Okay. Can I ask, please, when you send out...
Sorry, who is this? Sorry,
Jolie. It's Jolie.
Yeah.
It's Jolie. I just want to ask if we can have a reminder in the messages you send weekly about what we're going to be reading. So it gives us all prepared and it saves a lot of time. And
it's always there, Mataji, sorry, Julie Mataji, the slides are always there, the one Patanjali Muni Prabhu is going to do.
The slides are always the previous week, isn't it?
No. The slides which we send you every Tuesday you receive, That is the one slide we're going to do. And also, let's say if we left out today 43, so this is going to be definitely continue.
Excellent.
So,
well, because I've been having a heart attack trying to get it right.
No, it's
All
okay.
Right,
So we're all learning anyway. So fine, Mataji. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Bye, bro.
Are you
Yeah. Okay, so Patanjali Muni Prabhu, yes, so shall we just ask questions?
Some questions, yes. Yeah.
If anyone have a question, please kindly unmute yourself and let me just see how many people you unmute and then I'll let you speak, please.
Now, can you close the screen now, please, so that I can
sure,
see?
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, okay.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Okay, Julie Mataji. Okay, yeah, go on.
Jolie, yeah.
Yeah, Jolie.
The story in Korea, I'm very intrigued, and I wondered if your perception would have changed without your wife's input.
Of course, my wife helped dearly.
Sorry?
My wife helped very much.
Yes, I know. Yes, that was
so
amazing.
Without my wife, I wouldn't be successful as I am.
Yeah, because we all carry that, don't we? That doubt and that expectation, and it's hard to shake it off when it just happens to us. So I find that difficult sometimes. We judge very quickly, and unless you stop and think, you're not able to make good of it. And then obviously the mind takes you a different stage. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jolie Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, bro. Okay, is anybody next who would like to have any to share realization or would like to ask any questions to Patanjali Muni Prabhu? Please try to be quick a little bit. So
yeah, I will do that. Yes.
Please,
only 2 minutes left. Okay then.
Yeah, please, can anyone can ask the questions? Anything you have, please? Yeah, there's an iPhone. I don't know your name. Yes, you can ask the question, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. Just a quick question, please. When you mentioned that you translated the Bhagavatam into Korean, many Danvat pranams to you. The one small thing is once one of our Maharajas said that in the Bhagavatam,
Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, Bhagavad Gita. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. They said that somewhere there's some word that says that the word woman means the other sex, not a man or a woman, but it means the other sex. By any chance, have you come across it, Prabhu?
I don't understand your question.
I think you're talking about the that everybody is in heart is like there's only one Purushottam, is the Purna Purushottam, is the Krishna. Is that what you're talking about, Prabhuji? Sorry.
No. Maybe Mataji, I don't know exactly. Chandramauli Prabhu just Maharaj once said that we come across the word woman sometimes in the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, that actually it means the opposite sex. It doesn't mean it could be a man or woman.
I see. Sometimes yes, true. It's referring to the other partner. Yeah, for man, for the woman, woman for the man. So, for example, we have attraction for the woman. That means for the woman, for the man is for the woman. So yes, it's true. Yes.
Okay. I see. Is that you got the answer, Prabhu, or?
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anybody else would like to say something?
Rupa, do you have any question?
I was just trying to explain what Prabhuji was saying. So okay. He's right, because some of the feminists nowadays and they criticize the patriarchal society, and then they bring up like one verse in the Bhagavad Gita as well as one or two verses in the Bhagavatam. They pick up on that women are considered inferior in Hinduism, Vaishnavism. Women are considered inferior. So that's why whenever in Bhagavatam man and woman is said, it's suppose it's gender. So it's said in a way we feel like there is a verse in the Bhagavatam actually when Krishna says all the lower caste as well as women, they also became my devotees. So obviously the feminists bring those verses up and they say, okay, so women are considered inferior in Hinduism.
All right, okay.
Wow. That's it.
Just a addition to that. So in general, the Vedic society is one of community woman gives the highest regard. Why? Because in Upanishad, He says, I'm sure you know already, Matru Devu Baba, Pitru Devu Baba, Atiti Devu Baba, Satyam Bada, Dharmam Chara. So this is the fundamental teachings of Gurukul system. So first thing is that they respect their mother as good as God. So this mantra in Varanasi University, when they graduation ceremony, every student has to repeat this one. So in this way, in Vedic culture, before father, they put mother first. So they learn how to respect mother first, then they learn how to respect father. So anybody who says otherwise regarding some statement here and there, then you said this statement. Fundamentally, they respect women more than any other society, is Vedic society. Okay, thank you. So we'll close here.
Yeah. Also, before we close, just before we start the prayer, could anybody please come forward for the summary and for the next demon story? Is there anyone who would like to really, the one who never did before, like a Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi I have in my mind. And also I have other one is, what is it called? Is Uma and Pravita. Any one of you would like to do summary and demon story for the next week? Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Sangeeta, I will not be able to do it for coming week.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi, Haribo. Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi, would you be okay to do summary next week?
Sorry, no, I don't think I can do this. Sorry, thank you.
Maybe we wait for the WhatsApp response. So
Okay, yeah, no, because sometimes they don't, everybody on the WhatsApp, they don't really answer, so just get an answer now and then, at least we know somebody's going to do. But it's okay, we can just talk this on the WhatsApp chat now.
okay then.
We'll find out who will be able to do it, yeah.
Maybe you can choose somebody on the list every week.
Yeah, that's why I actually asked for the Kelly Vrindavan Devi Dasi, and but
Because
that's
it
fine.
would be a lot easier. So.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
go for from alphabet, ABC.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do alphabet, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I will do this way then. Thank you very much, Jolly Mataji, for suggestion. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, Bo. Yeah, okay, we can do the closing prayers and that's okay. And also after closing prayer before, you know, Mataji was doing the summary. She got another 3 minutes to do the last summary. Is it okay for everyone that she can complete a summary? Please.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be great.
Please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Harshalani Devi Dasi, could you please kindly complete the summary?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
you left on 11:23 something, I think.
Yeah. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 20, we try to mold our lives in how to give things. Therefore, it will reduce our focus on our personal things. This process looks like from beginning, for us, it gives us a challenge. So it's not so easy to do so, which is not so easy, but it's not an easy thing to do. And then there was the pastime of Valmiki Rishi, which was recited as well. Valmiki Rishi was heartbroken to see a hunter killing one of the cranes who was with their mate. Valmiki cursed the hunter, stating that he will never have peace or rest since he killed the one bird who was in a loving relationship with another bird. Then Valmiki Rishi regretted his action towards the hunter. Lord Brahma came and consoled Valmiki Rishi and said that it was a glorification of Lord Rama. Valmiki Rishi was confused by this comment. It was then explained that because he described Lord Ram, that he should narrate the Ramayana story fully. Therefore, he wrote the entire Ramanya. The word sloka came from soka, sadness. Soka means sadness or depression. Soka, suffering, turns to sloka. Ramayana teaches us how to turn our soka into sloka, how to turn our stumbling blocks into stepping stones for our advancement in spiritual journey. Then this Srimad Bhagavatam 11.7.7, our perception on things as we have can perceive someone to be on our enemy or friend, such as the deity one can perceive it as Lord, whereas someone else can perceive it as stone or marble, not worth worshipping. It is ourselves who are creating these visions and perceptions. We must not run away from our own responsibility. For instance, wanting to renounce means we want to run away from our own responsibility, but that is not what Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us. In fact, you should give up the mentality that everything is centered around me and that everything has to happen according to my own expectation and my plans. This type of mentality should be given up. There's no need for us to run away from our responsibilities. So how to mold our consciousness? We are in part of Krishna's drama. We have to see what we see is not ordinary. So every manifestation that we experience is organized by Krishna. So in this way, we have to see Krishna when we see things around us. So to experience our day-to-day life in this way, therefore we should mold our consciousness in this way. To summarize the main points that struck chord was tolerance, classic example being the Vanta Brahmana who tolerated such severe disturbances by not reacting and being silent. As a result, he was peace within himself and satisfied internally. Our perception on things can cause to see things differently. If we perceive things in the wrong way, then it can have a negative impact on our perception on that thing. Whereas if we perceive it in a positive way, then we can have a positive impact on our perception. So better perceive things on a positive way. Hare Krishna, thank you for letting me finalize that.
Wow, that was amazing. I'm so glad that we heard
Thank
you.
you so much.
That was really enlightening. The second part was really amazing. Thank you so much, Mataji, for completing summarizing. And so now we're just going to do the closing prayer. Patanjali Muni Prabhu here.
Okay.
Hi, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your class anyway. Just thank you on behalf of everyone.
Thank you for everybody. Really, this is not an easy time for you to join, but somehow you sacrifice your own time and then showing the support, and I really appreciate everybody. Om Salve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Salve Santu Niramaya, Salve Bhadra Shantu Makasya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.